My name is Geoff Spicer. I currently work for Tenix Solutions. I'm the Business Transformation Program Manager. What that involves is responsibility for the organisational change management and also assurance on the build for a large-scale, complex enterprise application that is a custom-build IT development project. Yeah, well, I got a number of outcomes, I guess. One was, I remember our first couple of meetings was really discovering how to transition from a problem solver, and I think I related it that I was often the go-to guy, the fix-it guy, to becoming a leader, and how to step out of that problem-solving go-to guy role to become more a leader where other people could, fill that space, and also, expand, the capacity of myself and my team by leading other people and not being the necessarily the go-to guy on all occasions. That was one thing. Another key thing I remember from the program was, losing the fear of admitting what I wanted to be and what my goals were. And I remember that, it took not too long, but it wasn't something I was ready to admit initially, that I wanted to be a CXO level type. I wanted to achieve a CXO role in my career. And I remember we talked about why that was, and what was maybe holding me back from admitting that even to myself, much less to you, Brian. And probably the third thing being having the confidence to be a leader in my own style. And I remember thinking, the program's not just about mimicking the behaviours of great leaders, but of working out yourself, what's your style, what do you bring to leadership, and being a great leader through my own personality. So they're probably the three key things I took away from the program. Yeah, it was an interesting time that I undertook the program. I was essentially put into a new role due to some organisational changes, where I became responsible for the IT department and the program management office. And one of the key issues that I felt the department had at the time was around employee engagement. And so we used employee engagement as our game during the program. And what I got from that was the fact that the next employee engagement survey increased for the department by 10 percentage points. And in fact, that engagement result is the highest that IT in Tenix Solutions that I've been there has ever been. So through the game, which became my reality, we really achieved a measurable improvement in employee engagement. So that was one. I remember, punching the air when we got those engagement results. It was that dramatic. So that was one thing. At the time also, I was on the executive leadership team, or had just joined the executive leadership team in going into that new role. And probably 12 months afterwards, some of those leaders moved on. But one thing they took time to say is they had really noticed my development as a leader in that 12 months, and part of that I absolutely attribute to going through the leadership program with yourself. I guess somewhat after that, an opportunity came up to move out of IT into an operational management role. And it's not something I would have dared to think about doing before your program, but as I said before, that the losing of the fear and the constraints that you put on yourself, and opening your mind to what is possible, meant that I applied for the role. I took it on and carried it out for 2 years to manage a contact centre, back of house operations, whereas my whole career I'd been an IT leader. So, you know, that opportunity and me sort of seeking that opportunity and attaining it was probably something I got from the program. Probably only one, and that was that it relates somewhat to one of the points I made before, that the program, it's not a prescriptive, you know, let's study great leaders and let's mimic their behaviour. It encourages you to think about the type of leader you want to be. Maybe I'd express it as, what do you want to bring to leadership, as well as giving you the tools, you know, to help you, the practical tips to help you on your way to becoming a good leader. And in fact, you know, I still use, you know, I still think about the conversations we had today in critiquing my own leadership, acknowledge that I sometimes fall back into the problem solver and go-to guy sort of mantle. And then, you know, I still use the program to think, okay, well, you know, how do I break out of that cycle? What were the tools that, you know, I used at the time we did the program, and how can I use them again to get through, you know, the challenges of leadership that I have today. So, you know, it's not a finish and forget program. It's something that I've found I constantly come back to and reuse the sort of topics we discussed and tools we shared to continually improve my leadership, and also to, I guess, avoid the pitfalls, or recognise that I'm in the same sort of pitfalls that I might have been in back when I was undertaking the program.